If you've been on this channel for any period of time, you know I'm a big proponent of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I've made numerous videos on this channel because of how powerful his work has been to me. But recently, there's been something that has taken everything up to the next level, 10x, if you will. And you notice I have this weird contraption on my ear, in my chest here, and I want to explain this and how it pertains to exactly what you're seeing on the screen. This is some monitors that are showing some different statistics and stats and data that I want to explain here in a little bit. Well, what's up, guys? My name is Nico Rapklis. If you are new to the channel, I'm a huge proponent of Dr. Joe and his work. It's inspired me in terms of what I've created in my life and my business. It started with visualization of imagining hitting home runs off the scoreboard of the 7 in the last inning, very first pitch. That minute, that detailed, and those kind of things happen because of the fact that I felt it and saw it before it actually happened, and therefore it happened. And so I took those experiences and the work of Dr. Joe, and I started applying it very in depth to my speaking career, to my business, to everything. And it's allowed me to connect with some of the highest level people. It's allowed me to build a really cool business called Vision Espresso. And I got so much inspiration from Dr. Joe. And so I wanted to share a story today on this video as we're continuing to make more and more content on this YouTube channel. Took a little break, but we were flown out to an event in Colorado, Fort Collins, Colorado, where we installed Vision Espresso into the entire event. And so what that really means is we had everybody that was at the event. It was about 25 coaches, high level, people that are really doing great impact in the world. We had them all go through the Vision Espresso process. And so from there, and I can explain more what that is, but from there, they all created a custom audio. Our team created it for them after they went through the process of their future self talking back to them. Okay, telling them how amazing they are, how all their goals and accomplishments and achievements and desires and everything that they wanted to create came true, and it was in their voice, and they all listened to it, and we did it all at the same time. Right? And it was really, really powerful. That was our first experience. We've done it at another event that was a bigger event here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's a really, really powerful experience. But the reason I'm telling you all this stuff is I had a direct download about Dr. Joe and why this stuff is so powerful. And I was having an in-depth conversation with ChatGPT about this as well a few weeks before that. And one of the biggest things was talking about heart coherence. And so if you look at this screen on the page here, you'll notice this correlates significantly or directly to this machine right here that I'll tell you about here in a second. But you can see what these numbers are, specifically the average coherence at 6.5, 4.8, 3.6, 2.9. I mean, you get the idea. And so these are all the stats that we measured people utilizing our Vision Espresso and having the monitor on them, and it leveled up their coherence by 3x, 4x, 5x, 6x. And I would say an average of coherence, generally speaking, for most people is like a 1 or less than. And so you can see there's nothing less than a 2.8 on this screen, right? So what exactly happened, and why am I telling you all this? Well, after we did that presentation and we installed Vision Espresso into that event, I was working out in the gym the next day, and I was listening to a podcast by Dr. Joe, and it was on the Diary of a CEO. Highly recommend that podcast. It was so good. And one of the biggest things that I got out of that is that he was basically just asking you, how often are you in coherence? Right? That's pretty much like the question he was asking, or that's what I was receiving, and that's what I was hearing from what he was saying. How often are you in coherence versus how often are you out of coherence? And the way I like to explain coherence is like you're just in sync, you're in flow. Your mind, your heart, your body, your soul, it's all working together. It's not fighting each other. And so when you're out of coherence, it's the complete opposite, where you actually are like butting heads. Your heart and your head is butting heads. I think that's a really good way to explain it. And so just think about that. How often are you butting heads with yourself versus in flow and working with yourself and conjoining with yourself? That's really the question that you got to ask yourself. And so how often are you in coherence? Because when you are in coherence, that's when the door opens, what I like to call it. It's like the subconscious door opens. And that's when you can really start, when you start visualizing, that's when it impacts you so much more on a deeper, deeper level. Is that when it's open, boom, you can plant ideas, thoughts in there, and it starts manifesting very quickly, right? When you're out of coherence, it's like that door is slammed shut, and no matter what you say, nothing's getting in, nothing's getting out, and your subconscious programming, your childhood wounds, like anything, your negative thoughts, it's all shut in there and it's not going anywhere, right? So think about that. Like if you are in coherence, you can let those things out and then you can refresh that with new great ideas and visualizations and thoughts and all the things that are going to serve you. But if you're always shut off, like all your stuff is just going to be jumbled up in there and it's going to be swarming around and it's just not going to be beneficial. Have you ever experienced that? I know I certainly have. So the more that I can stay in coherence, the more that I can let the river flow back and forth. I can put good things in there. It actually impacts me, shifts me, helps me change my identity, my thoughts, my subconscious beliefs, all those things. Okay, so really what I'm perceiving from this, and as I've shared a lot on these different videos about Dr. Joe, but this one rang so true, is that it's all about getting into coherence. How often are you in coherence? How often can you get into coherence? And so what we've measured, and now it's not even just like woo-woo stuff, because some people will think that, but it's really just scientific data that we get to show people. And you can see it. And it was so interesting. I'll share this as well. Another event that we did, I would say like a month or two later, where we installed Vision Espresso into that event as well, is we were measuring a baseline of this person's coherence just to kind of see what the difference was between when she was just at a baseline versus when she went through our Vision Espresso process and then listened to her future self talking to her, and then even on the vibroacoustic bed that we have partnered with. It's called In Harmony. But so I wanted to measure this difference. But what we ended up asking her was like, hey, what'd you learn here at the retreat today? And she started talking about like, well, what ended up happening is I got this really great idea and I wanted to do this and and all of a sudden she's sharing all this and then her coherence is just skyrocketing as she's explaining her vision, right? So that was really exciting to us because again, with Vision Espresso, that's what it's all about, is creating your vision, speaking your vision, being passionate about your vision, letting that out, because going through that process, we have an AI process that helps you really understand yourself on a deep level, understand your vision, and help you creatively express your vision. And because of that, boom, your coherence shoots up. So it's like you're opening the door, but then you're talking about your vision, it's seeping in, and then boom. And I need to follow up with her, but I think she started this whole new business and she's on a whole new wave, which is really, really exciting. So what that told us is that, again, not that, vision is, this woo-woo thing where you need to get clear on your vision and it's important, but it's backed up by heart coherence science now, okay? And if you guys are wondering about what the heck is this tool, how are we measuring this stuff, this is a sensor from the Heart Math Institute. I will put a link down in the description. Highly recommend this. A lot of our clients are on this now, and they got their own as well. So that's the biggest thing that I wanted to share on this video, is that like Dr. Joe is amazing. He's asking that question basically. I don't even know if he asked that direct question, but that's what I perceive from it. How often are you in coherence versus how often are you not in coherence? And my biggest goal right now in today's day and age is that how do I make sure that I'm in coherence at least 51% of the day? Because I know if I'm in coherence at least 51% of the day, then I'm creating that flow. I'm creating that rhythm where I can open up the doors, let things flush out, I can let things flush in, and then when I'm implanting things, listening to my Vision Espresso every day, boom, it's really helping out, right? So here's the other thing that I'll share, and this is why I put this all together, and I wanted, because this is a presentation that I did at another event, and the reason I wanted to share this is that the other thing that I perceived from Dr. Joe's interview with Stephen Bartlett on the Diary of a CEO is that we're doing cool things. I know a lot of other companies that are doing cool things in this space. And the differentiation of any other company and Dr. Joe Dispenza is that he has indisputable data and proof that this stuff is true. This is real. I don't even think it's necessarily like too woo-woo anymore. I know, even just a couple of years ago, people thought it was woo-woo, but now it's backed up by so much science and so many direct experiences that people are having. I mean, people are walking away from his retreats healed, like completely. They came in a wheelchair and they walked out. Like, how do you explain that? How do you say that's just woo-woo, right? It's real stuff. So the more data that we can collect, and as we continue moving forward, we're going to continue to collect even more data, probably even EEG scans on the brain. But like, it's so cool to see all this stats, and it's not only just the data and the stats, but people's experiences and being healed. I mean, we've had people that have experienced massive business wins and breakthroughs. I mean, most of our clients are business owners and running at a high level. And when we help them get clear on their vision, understand themselves on a deep core level, unlock those subconscious blocks and release those patterns that are not serving them, and then we implant them with new patterns, and then we have them listen to their Vision Espresso every day so that it constantly embeds those programs deeper and deeper and deeper into their subconscious mind. That's when true shifts start happening. That's why we've had people that have 5x their business in a matter of 30 days, or got their multi-million-dollar dream home, or got pregnant and married when they've been, gave up hopes essentially after being single for 17 years. Those were those are just the highlights. But I mean, you name it, we've had people that have gotten like 12 referral clients in a matter of a couple months, selling a $30,000 program, getting on podcast episodes like that when they never done a podcast before. So it's really cool. And I'll show you real quick, like here's our app. Don't worry about these stats so much, but we have a bunch of different things in here. We have our audio libraries where you can listen to your different types of libraries. We have meditations, but then your 7-day shot, your 75 easy. This is like, there's 2 different versions of the Vision Espresso. We have the Vision Quiz. That's where we have everyone start. And it's a really cool app, and we're building a community. And we need to build this out even a little bit more. But there's a community aspect. We have a big community on Skool. We have an inner circle community. So if you want to come check this stuff out, you always start with the Vision Quiz. So the link is down in the description, but I'll just show you what this page looks like so you can see. So everything starts with your quiz, and this is a really cool starting point because it'll help you understand where you're clear, where you're stuck, and then how to shift that really fast. Because what you get on this vision quiz is you get an index score, a vision index score that'll tell you exactly how clear and how stuck. It's like a full formula. We put so much time, attention, energy, and resources into building this. And then in about 20 minutes, it'll help you shift that clarity score, that vision index, significantly. We've had people that have increased their vision index score by like 40% in a matter of 20 minutes. And then from there, they can take that and they can throw that into their Vision Espresso and start reprogramming their subconscious for the clarity that they do have. So it's really powerful stuff. So all in all, I just got to say, like, one, how often are you in coherence versus not? And I strongly recommend you get into coherence at least 51% of the day. Maybe I'll make another video that talks a little bit more about coherence and how do you get into coherence more frequently. So if you guys do want me to do that, just put coherence down in the comments. I'd be happy to make that video. And then secondly, measurements, right? We can say like, okay, I feel better and that's great, but are we actually making measurable change? And so that's the mission that we're continuing on. And that's where we're going to help with people inside of our community and our clients and everything moving forward as we continue to install Vision Espresso into more and more events. Okay. So that's our gist. Let us know what you got most out of this video, and make sure and join us for the Vision Quiz in our Skool community. All the links will be down in the video description. Give me a tree emoji down at the bottom as well, because then that way we know who stuck around all the way to the end, because the trees are the ones that just grow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, love you guys, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.